Welcome back to the Rockhound Podcast. We're so happy to have you here with us. And we have got another super rocky and fantastic show for you tonight. So let's get right into it. First, I'd like to say that our guest, whom Hudson has found one of the largest marine mammal collections from the Astoria Formation anywhere, probably on this planet. We get to go visit that. And so we're going to handle who's in the house first, and then we'll get to that. So, Kyle, who are you today?
Well, I'm Kyle, World of Rockhounds. I am also known as Mild Kyle, the mildest of Kyles. Uh, and then Wild Kyle, he's the wildest of Kyles. Also known as man behind the curtain, now in front of the curtain and wearing the curtain. So
He's cast his curtains about this evening. So we're so happy that we have you on this side of the curtain and joining us. And I'm, of course, Karen from Ozone Fine Art Ventures out here on the totally weird and moody Oregon coast. So we'll buzz straight into the shouts, and that way we can hurry up to get to the really good stuff coming soon. So first, a huge thanks to half of our guest, Kent Gibson, from last podcast, and that was just part one. And so that was an amazing outing, and of course part two is coming here as soon as I'm done shouting and whatnot. Claude from Kalgoorlie thought it was an awesome episode. Can't wait for this moment that we're having right now, this part two, and could imagine a show with Ma'am Lambo and Kent. And so he was, I think, talking about a podcast, but wouldn't it be cool if we were able to get both of those guys on this one? So
that'd be really cool.
yeah, because maybe some of you have already put this together, but we're actually talking about not the same formation, but the same period of time. And so some of the guys that were swimming over there in Mam Lambo's neighborhood were probably also out here. We have a lot in common. And so it would be such an interesting show. I don't know if we could handle it.
I don't think we can handle it. It'd be like, just, yeah. Everyone's gonna be like,
fossil
what?
overload. So also I wanted to mention that Kent's t-shirt that he was wearing in part A, which means also part B, because he didn't change shirts between the two halves of this show. That Paleo Nerds shirt is actually from a podcast, and it's the podcast that Rachel and David Strassman have, and Kent's been on that one. But if you want some total entertainment and are digging this particular content about the paleontology, then definitely go check that out. That's Paleo Nerds. And then Paleo, yeah, I said that right. Dustin finds rocks found in his this collection that Kent is showing off. Mind blowing, of course. We do too. And he was saying how Kent should be in many museums, and he is. So it's true. He was also talking about how he feels like he really needs to get his display organized, kind of like Kyle's. And I think that the King Dustin Druzy Museum of, Druzy Nublins and whatnot should actually definitely happen. So we need you to do that. Get organized, and then we'll all come and tour it. Lisa Largent 45 thought it was a wonderful episode as well. She ever had the conundrum, though, of full screen for the incredible eye candy or smaller with the chat. And I bet a lot of us actually ran into that issue.
I had a big screen going with everything showing, and then I had the chat going on my phone so I can watch the chat.
There you go. You got to manage your technology with multi technologies. That was smart, because aside from actually being there, those shots were so cool to see, and you've got way more eye candy coming your way. It's about to just get spilt all over your eyes just now. And so she had lovely things to say for all of us. So go check your comments there. And she was talking about me aspiring for a house-size whale spine. And I have a show and tell coming up that
Wonder what it is.
Oops, spoilers. That is at least preparing me to find that life-size whale spine. So, okay, that's a little bit of foreshadowing for you. Cynthia Foss thought it was a great show. Also, looking forward to now, which is number 2, and we'll be checking in on NARG, and that's NARG. I was talking about that last week. It's the North American Research Group, and they were out doing the fossil fish salmon finding that were 7 feet long or what have you, and Kent reported that they had a really good trip. So I guess they were working on 4 different salmon that
Wow.
they've got going on in that bed. Yeah. So go check out NARG. It's a cool group. Blind Squirrel Rocks wanted to know if we could have an all-nighter. And boy, well, Kyle, you're gonna have to make more memory on your computer there, because that would be a long show. Although Kyle is actually pretty good at long shows, so maybe it's possible. But yeah, last week was long. Glad to know that you guys loved it. Scott Lambright was thankful that Kent was showing his amazing collection from Oregon. These Oregon fossils. He too is from Oregon, and you know, I don't think a lot of people associate Oregon quite like the Jurassic Coast or Montana or Wyoming. Yeah, we got some of the goods too. So Julie McKenna was like, holy fossil collection. And also looking forward to what's about to happen here, part 2. Several folks said how they enjoyed Theo's Northern Lights. And along with Julie, she said that that's just so special. Another reason why to watch the first podcast, if you haven't already, because we were treated to a bunch of really, really cool pictures that Theo took of the Northern Lights that just happened. Currently rock hounding. Jared thought it was a great interview. Thanks, Jared. That's a lot coming from you. Ivan Lopez thought it was a great episode too. 406 Findings had an idea for us. So what do you think of this, Kyle? He thought that we could do a short about rock hounding pets. And so, you know, you guys out there in the audience could send your pictures of your rock hound animals, and we could have like a show and tell, kind of like the viewer show and tell. What do you think?
I like it. Though I don't have any rock hounding pets myself, but it'd be nice to see everybody's rock hounding pets.
Indeed. And I don't think that they necessarily have to be rock hounding pets as much as rock loving pets. And so cats and parakeets and snails all
send them pictures.
Yeah. That all applies. We want to see it all. And so send those pictures of your animals that love rocks, and your weird rocks and any other shows and tells that you want to share with us to the email in the description of this video, and you will be included in that. And then if you would like to join us in the Discord, it's the same email for an invite to the Discord, where we do this rockin' all week long. And so to you Discordians and all of you chatting there in the chat, you know we love you. Thanks so much. And them's the shouts. So Kyle, how has your week been?
Well, first of all, thank you for the shouts.
Indeed.
It's a lot of work.
It's fun. It's so much fun to hear what you guys are thinking. So thanks for sharing your shoutables.
Thank you for shouting the shoutables.
And thank you, Kyle, for thanking me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. We'll keep doing that.
Moving
on. Aside from a few stressful things, more week hasn't been too bad. I was going to try to go to do some rock hounding or meet up with a fellow watcher of the channel, Greg, who has been doing some rock hounding.
Cheers.
But I've had too much stuff to do here in the shop, so I couldn't quite break away to go do some rock hounding. It's like a 4-hour drive from me. I went and got my oil changed, and it was way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So that kind of hurt my pocketbook a little bit. Plus, I had to get an AC for the garage. I'm like, oof. It's kind of an expensive week. And right now, my My checking account has a little over $100 in there, so I'm like, I gotta be careful.
It's kind of skinny.
I'm cutting close, like Indiana Jones when he's going through that door. But yeah. Aside from those, like just trying to get some stuff down here in the shop. I've been doing a lot of sales, like some special sales events. So like last Saturday and Tuesday, everything was 22% off in the live sales. And then this Saturday, which technically tomorrow, by the time this video goes out, everything's 25% off.
What?
Yeah, and it's the last special sale that I'm going to do for quite a while, because it's a lot of work. For anyone that doesn't do like live sales or like sales like virtual, it's a lot of stuff to have to go through. Like you're doing the video portion, then you have to do like cleanup after the video, or at least I do anyways, because I can't work in a messy space. Um, and then it's inputting all the information from the live sale, make sure everything adds up, send out all the invoices, wait for them to get paid, start packing stuff. I used to pack the boxes before people paid, but I ran into a few problems when there were a few people that didn't pay, and I had to unwrap everything to put it back.
Oh
So
no.
it's a lot to do, and
Yeah.
with those special sale days, like it's been pretty busy. Amy's actually helped me out several times with getting stuff packed and getting stuff ready. Uh,
I always used to wonder, like, how come shipping and handling was so expensive? Like, okay, if shipping's only this much, then what's this handling thing? You know what handling is now.
so
That's what that is.
well, I mean, as of like right now, like I don't have like a shipping and handling fee. Is that a spider? No, sorry. Um, I don't have like a shipping and handling fee. It's just the cost of shipping, and even then, it can the pricing is weird. Like some days is not the same price as other days.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so either it's a couple cents over or it's a couple cents under. Um, and I know people that have like a flat rate cost for shipping, and it's I think for under so many ounces, like $3.97 is like almost the cheapest you can get. But some people charge like a flat rate of like $4 or $5, and that covers the shipping, covers the material used, which I should implement that because shipping boxes aren't cheap. If you're using like USPS boxes, not a big deal because that stuff's free. But if you're having like such like really small items, then you have to
Yeah,
pay.
all of a sudden the handling
It goes
becomes
up.
like all the packaging costs. Yeah, yeah. And so I've never felt bad about you know, what you kind of ask for as far as that's concerned, because you put in like this much effort to either make the thing or present the thing. It's a lot of focus for your the 8 hours or whatever it is that you go on too. It's like, keeping all of that going is a massive amount of laser beam focus. And then to like make sure that nothing breaks on the way, having all the appropriate packaging, that's handling.
Yeah, that's a lot too because you have to have
It
the space for
is.
all of it too.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. That will
so
cost money.
well, at some point I will have like a flat rate fee, but I'm still in the process of like looking at the numbers to see like what be a fair price and what's the normal like average for like what people buy, and like how
Yeah.
much it costs to actually ship, because the shipping is silly. Like you might buy like, let's say, I don't know, a cab. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but if you buy two cabs, because I don't like it, typically I don't put stuff in bubble mailers and send it out.
Uh-huh.
Aaron, I don't know if I haven't sent anything to you, but for those that have bought stuff from me, they all know that the packing is pretty meticulous. But everything weighs something. The bubble mailers, that's like half an ounce. The boxes, I forgot how many ounces those are. So like it doesn't take but a couple items before you're go from the 397 price range to the 431. It's yeah, shipping's weird.
Oh yeah. And I mean, and then hopping up to the different rates on the flat rates, because a lot of people end up consolidating their orders and, hitting a small, medium, large, and those bad boys are going up in price. It seems like, every couple
All the time.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
keep on like, okay, I need to change the rate on my website again. Yeah.
there is a plus side. with certain shipping programs, sometimes you can actually get a cheaper rate compared to going to the actual post office in person and paying, up front. For example, I don't know what the medium flat rate boxes are if you go to the post office, but I use ShipStation and it's $14 for a flat rate box right now. Of course, that can always
Uh-huh.
change, like you just
Right.
said.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's $14. And I think it's like a few dollars cheaper than it would be if you go to a physical store to pay for it, right there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
But
it is. Wow.
side
We're
tangent.
tangenting.
It's okay.
We had to do that for Theo.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, just staying busy, and I'm looking forward to, I think next week might be a little more relaxed. I'm hoping, because the last couple of weeks have been crazy, and yeah, I'm looking forward for a little downtime. I might even take next Tuesday off because
You would have earned it.
yeah, and well, Amy wants to get out of town, so we might do that. I think Sunday night we might go to, I think Lincoln City.
Nice.
I think we're going to just go check out a hotel. Mom and
Yeah.
dad get away for a week, for overnight, hang out.
Yeah. Do it.
So we're looking forward to it. It's been a hot minute since we just got to have our time to enjoy and quiet.
Nice.
That was my week. Sorry it took so
Cool.
long to go over
Oh
stuff that I didn't need to go
no.
over.
We all feel a little bit smarter about shipping now, I think. It's all good.
I've considered like doing a video of like the entire process, but I had to figure out how to do it without showing people's like confidential like
Yeah.
mailing information, because it is good information to know if like someone's wanting to get into like selling stuff like virtually and be able to like know what's used, how to use it. At least try to explain that a little bit better. Because at first, like even like when I started, it was a little intimidating, but after a while, I was like, oh, but this is easy, and I'm more than happy to
Nice.
share that information to everyone else that is wanting to start how to do their own stuff.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, guys. Tell Kyle that you want to see this content.
For free.
Oh, free. Awesome. All right, thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome. How's your week?
Yeah, still working totally vigorously. I'm trying to get a new line out that incorporates some of the sand casting and that sort of thing in my jewelry line. And so I've been feeling very creative, but also trying to get the thing done so I can launch it on the website. And so I've it's always pretty frantic here in the studio, which I feel like it exudes that with the chaos that's going on every time you guys get to see it. The sun came out in Oregon, which was really exciting, and we hit 93 one day, and then the very next day we were in the 50s. And so
Wow.
I mean it when we're like moody right
A
now.
little bit, geez.
On the coast. I love the roller coaster ride though, because I'll take the lows if I can get those highs. And so I got to do some outdoor studio, which was just so good. That's where I like to do the carving. And if I'm gonna, get my my angle grinder polisher out and that sort of thing, it kind of requires days like that. And so looking forward to more of those. Love it. And to top things off, I ran into Kyle on the beach.
What?
If you guys didn't see it, it was so crazy. I just reached straight through the screen and grabbed him, and there we were on the beach. And so both of our videos have already gotten out, and so if you're watching this, you have more to watch if you haven't seen those already. They're both out, and I brought a couple of the scores from that for the shows and tells this evening, because oh my gosh, like just still squealing about it. So that's my business. And so on with the show, we're going to check out Kent's collection part 2, and you're going to be amazed at that this is just some more of it, and it's not even all of it. So here we go. It's just crazy. Okay, so we have a bunch of different stuff out here. What are we looking at?
A bunch of different stuff. It's just another room to store stuff. Most of the stuff was in the house in there, but when I rebuilt my woodshed, I decided I better build a room to put some of those fossils so I can get them out of there. So now that I got them out of there, I'm filling it back up in there again.
That's always the situation, the scenario. Whenever you clean a space, you have to quickly fill it again with stuff.
Yeah.
And so
now, I was going to show you this one. This vertebrae has got only one I think I've ever found with all this. I guess I don't know. That's calcite or what it is growing on there.
Oh, that's fantastic! Like a whole druzy situation going on there.
Yeah, you really see sparkly stuff down in there.
Wow, and that's a vert.
That's a big whale vertebrae.
Wow.
Part of one.
There, that's two great tastes that taste great together, mineral folks.
I got vertebrae, mostly whale vertebrae and that kind of stuff up there. And
you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
All right, vert section.
Yeah, and there's pieces of skulls down here, the next one down, and you got this thing here that I think I broke it open or something one time, and
oh yeah,
it's not a very good one, but
I'd say that's a pretty decent pectin for a lot of people's standards. And this is Astoria, right?
Yeah, it's all Astoria in here.
Wow, look at that. That looks like a plane flying through a rock or something. So
another whale ear bone in this thing.
Oh man, everybody keeps on yelling at me that these anomalies are whale ear bones, and I just don't have a track for it yet. I don't know what I'm looking at yet. I'll get it one of these days. I might be a stubborn student.
You trip over them sometimes.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty incredible. What's going on as far as like the concretion wanting to come apart and reveal?
Well, it was pretty much like this when we found it.
Wow.
I think this one was actually one my wife found, but I think this one somewhere had an ear bone in it too, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah,
it's quite a chunk. Did she pull it off, like haul it off the beach too?
No, that was my job, of course. But that's one rock she found. I think I found everything else, but that's the one she found.
That's a good one.
And I got some Musashi Endoradas, these big long snails.
Oh yeah.
Like that. I've probably got about 50 or 60 of them all together.
Wow.
Different parts, but.
And I think that holds the record for our biggest gastropod that we can find around here. Right?
Yeah, that's the biggest one there is here.
Yeah. Local. That's pretty darn big though. Like, what would you say they typically are about like 5 inches or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Nice one.
I don't know, some of these I haven't seen for a while. Pick them up and look at them again.
Right. They're just waiting. Although it's very cool that the students are getting their eyes on this material as well.
This is mostly shark vertebrae on this, all through here. And I think the University of Oregon collection has one.
Wow, not anymore. So how long did you say it has taken you to amass what we're looking at in your collection?
Most of it probably in the last 20 years, but the first 5 years I didn't find a whole lot. It took me a while to get used to it. What to look for, the color and shapes and that kind of stuff.
Right. So that actually is a great message. Those of you who haven't had a chance to get out there as much as maybe you'd like to, you didn't get started until kind of later.
Yeah.
And then it takes you some time to get the eyeballs and know what you're looking at. So there's another few years.
Yeah, some of these down in here you're looking at here, there's a lot of fish skulls and stuff down in here and some up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to come and spend time just ruminating on that. I know I have a lot of bits and pieces in my collection. I do love the fish bones. And for some reason, they ping my eye.
Yeah, here's something that pings my eye is these.
Yeah.
neck vertebrae from baleen whales, I believe.
Whoa! That's intense. Yeah, that's a fun thing to run across on the beach.
Yeah, I think this is part of a mandible, I believe. Whale mandible. See the hole through there and through there. I think that's been explained to me that that's where the blood supply ran through.
Let me see that hole again. Up, there we go. Nice.
So that's what I think it is anyway. I'm not an expert, but that's what I've been told it probably is.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's due to collections like this that we know anything about what we think we know anyway, right? Because like these scientists are just coming along for the ride, seeing a lot of this stuff maybe for the first or second time also, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, but this isn't it. There's more.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, oh, across the driveway here. Oh, yeah, well, there's...
Oh, yeah, more right outside.
This stuff out here yet either.
Let's have a look at this. The sun's shining.
Some of the stuff I picked off, I think, or took off 9 of these this year with a hand truck. And this whale skull here and that one I found about 5 feet apart. I found that one first, and then got it up to my truck, and I was just about ready to leave. I thought, maybe I'll just go down there. Tide's still low. Went down there, and I found the whale skull within 5 feet of where I found that. So they may be associated, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at how ginormous that is.
And this skull here is a lot like the one I was working on there. It's pretty similar.
Wow. That's incredible. Just throwing my hand in there for size reference.
No.
Huge.
Yeah, this one I think was 200 and, what was that one, 228 pounds or 200 and something.
And are we looking at like the ribs coming up through here type thing?
I believe so.
Look at that. Just fantastic texture.
And great big vertebrae.
Wow.
You see, I think this is process coming off of this one. There and there.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Wow. Yeah, that is huge.
There's bones all through that thing. That one would be kind of a cool one to see get prepped out, but boy, that would take some time.
Right. And I think that a lot of people, they have in their mind that the animal is going to be associated properly, and a lot of times these are just complete like jambalayas, right?
Yeah, yep. A lot of times after they die, they break up. You get predated.
Yep.
They
Predated.
They get a little bit or two
got
on it a little bit, and it jumbles up the bones, and so then it gets covered up with sediment, and so you have jumbled up bones and rocks.
Yeah. And so that dream of finding like the animal that has the bones in order is, have you found much of that?
Not a whole lot. I helped take a pinniped off the beach because I got the permit to do it. Me and another guy that found it went down and took it off the beach. Took us 2 days. We had to dig it out of a big concretion on top of the beach. Oh. And we ended up sending that back to Bobby Bosnecker back at the College of Charleston. And we had it here in my garage for a couple of months before we shipped it off, but finally got out there, and hopefully he'll start working on it soon to find out exactly what it is. We think there's about 90% of it there.
Whoa!
We're not sure if the skull is in there. But we had rear flippers, we had vertebrae and everything, rib bones, just about everything, but we couldn't tell if the skull was bent down inside that rock or not. So I guess we'll have to find out later.
Oh, to be continued then.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cool story to follow. And how big did you say, like, this pinniped that you found in life, how large would it have been, do you think?
Not real big, probably only 3 feet long or so.
All right. So kind of like a little harbor seal or something
Yeah,
like that.
but still, the rock and everything associated with it, I think it weighed in about close to 260 pounds with all the parts that we found. So,
Wow. Yeah. So no small task
no,
lugging that bad boy off the beach.
No, that was a lot like work. We spent 2 days down there, 2 full days, or 6 hours each day, I think.
Wow.
Until we got it out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one that we're looking at there, that one's kind of a cool one. I'd like to see this one get prepped out too.
Yes.
So,
are there people that, other than yourself, that are interested in working on those? Kind of like the maybe the students.
Well, like I said, I've got a couple of them up at OMSI already getting worked on now. I did
right.
a whale mandible that's in a rock about that size, but it got whittled down more to a display piece, and then I got another big rock, big whale skull. It's over 200 pounds. I think that was 218 pounds, and I just took that up to OMSI a couple of weeks ago, and one of the guys up there is going to start working on that. One of the guys who is actually a member of the North American Research Group.
Oh, cool.
So,
is that going to be on display, or
well, they work on it. When they work on it, they work on it in front of the public. So
very cool.
All the kids and stuff get to come in and ask questions and watch them work on it. So that's kind of cool. I mean, they get to see what it looks like to start with, because I think most of the stuff they've had in there is mostly like triceratops that they've been working on for years. And so to get something local, I think it's more of a treat for them to work on, besides, the triceratops in a great big jacket.
Right. How cool. All right. And on to the garden.
Yes, garden party. I can explain some of these.
Yeah.
These bigger rocks here have bones in them.
Oh yeah.
And then this is what I called my crap piles in here. But the funny thing was, I had a friend of ours staying at the house one time a few years ago, and I was showing him my crap pile, and ended up digging out a dolphin skull out of it.
Oh my gosh.
And then this chunk here that's kind of missing, those all ended up out at the barn. I'm trying to clean them up and get them out there, but I'm not doing it as fast as I should, I don't think. But if I didn't think the rock was, or the fossil was that good, I'd just throw it out here. I had no place to put all this stuff, so I just started putting it out here.
Well, the garden's a nice destination. Oh, like, yeah, there's the pectin pile.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are drooling over just that. And then I know a lot of other people that would be drooling over this pile here. This is some of the other stuff, not to distract off of the fossils, but look at how big these specimens are.
Yeah, those come from Nevada.
And you dug these bad boys up?
There. Yeah.
Nice.
In fact, everything in here I dug up one time or another.
Including that dinosaur.
Oh, well. It's a dragon. It's a dragon. And a pile of garnet rocks.
Oh, yeah, those are the sparkles.
Yeah, I found a place there that had, there was a wall of probably 20 feet tall and a couple 100 feet long of this stuff.
Wow.
It was just crazy. I think somebody may have put a claim on it after I was there last. I'm going to have to double check it. But
smog over there.
I go to places where I used to know a guy that lived in Winnemucca, and his wife worked for BLM. And she told me about a spot one time where there was some epidote claims. And she said the guy didn't refile on them. So I went up there and started looking around trying to find this epidote claims, and it took me a couple hours, but finally found where they had been digging a little bit in the rock. And man, there was some really cool epidote spray type rocks in there.
Oh yeah.
And that stuff over there, the greener rock, that's kind of like it's some sort of jade from California. I got that while it's gold dredging. Beautiful. That stuff is absolutely beautiful when it's cut.
Nice.
That's wax that I found on the beach.
Oh, is that ambergris maybe?
Not amber. No, it's wax.
It's just wax.
It was one great big round thing. It looked like bottom of a barrel, like it had been poured into a barrel.
Ah.
And so I brought it home, and then one day I come out here and it's broken up, and there was, I don't know if you can where it was, but there was teeth marks in it. I think a bear came down here and packed it off. I found another piece up here on the road going up the hill. So.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you got Winnie the Pooh like shopping your garden for some honey.
I even
or
had
wax.
I don't know. It could have been that cougar too. I had a cougar one time standing right in front of my barbecue.
Oh, gee.
You know, like what, 10 feet from the front door.
Oh, wow. Got a lot of glass floats here.
Yeah.
Wow. These are like bona fide.
That was all I found on the beaches.
Wow. That's incredible too. There's some mudlarks that would be drooling over these.
And I think that stuff over there we looked at the other day, that's common opal. That wasn't jasper. I've got a cousin who's a gemologist, and she claims
that's handy to have in the family. These guys here?
Yeah.
That's awfully shiny to be just jasper.
Yeah, that's
agreed.
Common opal.
Like in my own shot. Wow. Yeah, that's some nice stuff. So lots of minerals as well as fossils. You've got it all.
Yeah, we're not even doing minerals today, right?
Right? That's a whole nother show, guys.
Bigger crystals and stuff, and some druzy in it. This is a really cool
that's
piece.
That's a great plate. Look at that.
You know, it belongs outside, right?
Well,
room for it.
Well, the Oregon rain does wonderful things for cleaning your rocks if you don't feel like you want to have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I got
just leave them outside.
wood from Nevada down here.
Nice. Oh yeah. Wood fest. Ooh, that's really agony too.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. Do you happen to know the variety of wood?
I do not.
All right. We'll have to find out. Also, it to be continued.
Yep.
All right. It seemed like last year we had like a kind of late season for washouts, didn't we? Like it.
Last year wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
I found like half a 5-gallon bucket, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the beach last year because it just wasn't worth my time going down there to do it.
Yeah.
But this year is way different.
Do you think it was due to more storm, different currents?
Well, different storms, different currents. And the storms that did hit at the right, hit from the right direction and carried the sand off the beach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't wholesale sand removal, but it was every time the place opened up, it turned out to have some pretty good stuff in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe different parts of like sections that hadn't washed out recently type thing.
Yeah, wherever washes out is where you have to look. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it was open last year or not. You keep looking. Well, like I said, all this stuff is all stuff I found on the beach this year. Which is somebody without a permit, this would be way more than their legal limit.
Right.
Legal amount.
And that's a really good point to bring up for people. Again, there is a limit on our beaches. You can find out by going to Oregon.gov, but it's a gallon a day and 3 gallons a year. So this would like surpass that a bit. What's your favorite thing from this year?
Oh, Jesus. It has been some of those over there, those big pieces I got over there.
Who are we looking at here, do you think?
Probably rib bones, the shapes of those, I think. And then stuff on the other side, too.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
And then I think this is going to be another piece of turtle over here in this one because it's the right color. So this one might be more turtle pieces possibly.
I think we're all voting for that. That looks really familiar.
Yeah, it does. I didn't really realize it until I found that smaller piece over there this year earlier. And then this one was sitting out here and all of a sudden it just clicked. I think I have a piece out here somewhere. So I came over and looked at it and sure enough.
Wow. Yeah, it would be hard not to be spending a lot of time on these tables.
There's one that's agatized.
Ooh. Yeah, look at all that blue.
Yeah, that's kind of cool when they get agatized like that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Have you tried shining a flashlight through?
No.
Will it?
I don't do that.
I don't got time for that. Who's this, do we think?
I don't know, but it's got some bone in it right where your fingers are and down in here. So
that's just interesting there, the cavity wall.
It could have been like, it almost could have been the shape of the back of the skull or something, but I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Don't want to hit your hand.
Yeah, this is, who knows. All I do is I pick it up and bring it home for eventual disposal or disposition, I guess, to the University of Oregon.
Uh-huh. Well, I should be very excited to work with some of these. This type of thing.
That could be a little piece. That could be a crab, or that could be a coprolite, possibly.
Okay, that's funny. This is I pick these up and I say coprolite usually.
Yeah, and it's probably what it is, but
but you never know.
You don't know until it gets prepped out, and that's the problem, that I don't have enough time to do all this.
No.
But
You've got bigger fish to fry.
I'm doing my part to continue scientific investigation down the road, I guess.
So that reminds me, I think I was either thinking it or actually asked the question of Jared with the currently rock hounding about the best books out there, resource material. Do you have a suggestion?
For identifying or just for
any
general...
books about like fossils for the Pacific Northwest?
Well, cruising the fossil coastline would probably be a good place to start, just to get the background of what you might be able to find around here. But then there is a book that I was turned on to by Kirk Johnson, because I took something back to him at Washington, D.C. I took something back there to show him. It was a snail, I think, of some kind that I've got. And he brought out this book. It was about that thick. And it was, I can't remember what year it was published, but it's fairly old. And so I immediately went on a search and found one that was in England. I think I bought it off of eBay or something, or some rare bookstore. And now I have it over there. So maybe I can find out what that is here a little bit later and let you know. Oh,
that'd be cool. Yeah, it seems like there's not a whole lot. I know that, the Oars have their fossil books that are good. And we'll leave those in the description. Plus, there's a really good fossil shell reference that's out there.
Ellen Moore did the shell books.
Love that.
But the one I'm talking about, it doesn't so much cover this, but it has way more shells and stuff than even Ellen Moore's books have.
I need that.
If you can find one.
And afford it.
Yeah, I think I paid $60 for the one I found.
That's not bad.
So, but that was the only one that was available 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, so, super out of print, I bet.
Yeah, I'll show that to you when I get back. When we go back to the house.
Nice. All right. So the students will be back here in June, going through this material and getting it cataloged and numbered for future reference.
Yeah. There's another pine cone I found this year. These are all pine cones, but this one was really interesting because I don't think I've seen one with this outer stuff showing on it like that.
That's outstanding. Now you know what you're looking at if you see that. And I know I've seen that. That just chaps my hide.
Yeah, well, this is the other stuff. I used to throw this stuff away 2 years ago, but now you look at it, and now that I know what it is, there's a pine cone, so it's coming home with me.
I just picked up somebody that has something like that. Just that's the only thing showing. So I might have to bore in there and.
Yeah, no, doing acid prep on that stuff, I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, that's probably going to have to get chipped away.
Because you don't. Well, I don't even know. I don't know how they prep pine cones. Just chipping it away. I don't know. It seems to me like that stuff's fragile enough. Was just going to
bust away with it. Yeah. There's nothing holding the thing together. You just have to know the margins. Yeah. It just, now that I look at that looks a lot like what I have I think I found it last week.
Oh, you want to try and pop one of these open?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's try this one. Ready?
Yep.
Sometimes they work. Sometimes they don't.
Oh, there, it worked. Look at that.
I like the ones that are a little bit bigger. They tend to pop open easier.
That's lovely, though. There's a lot of shiny nacre there to see. And this is a Patino pecten?
Some sort of pecten.
Yeah. Cool. There you go. Beautiful.
So that's how you open. You open them up with a vertebrae. Actually,
there's your fossil reveal kit.
I do them on the beach usually. And if they break, then I just throw them down now that I've got Frisbee. This one. Yeah, usually it'll pop open. This is one I popped open here a while back too.
Oh yeah, look at that. That is fantastic. And so I guess there's a way to know if it's the left or the right by, I think it's like the hinge or something.
Yeah, the hinge down here. So I don't know what you would call the left or the right or how they're oriented. But this has got part of the hinge showing down here.
Yeah. Very cool. And what kind they are by the number of ribs, apparently.
I don't even count them.
Yep.
It's a pecten.
Not my job.
I don't need to know. It's cool to find.
So cool to find, and even more fun when they crack open right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they look like ahead of time. Just like pancakes on the beach.
Yeah, I did a short video on the beach of popping one open that I put on my Facebook page. And I think it had 15,000 views or something. I couldn't believe it. I haven't looked at it lately, but I think that was about
YouTube
it.
gold.
It got like 100 shares or something. That's something stupid, so.
Now you're famous.
Huh.
Nice.
So the other thing is behind you here, we've got some of the buckets that the university students went through, and they're the ones with the papers in them. So we know that all those have already been cataloged. And then from about here that way, none of the rest of those fossils have been cataloged yet.
Oh, wow.
And that pile at the end is that pile that came out of that one part of my rock garden area.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. All these to go through.
The plates in here, there's tons of plates.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
wow.
Way more than Ellen Moore.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I have.
This is what Kirk Johnson calls his Bible. I mean, there's just...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so anyway,
That's fantastic. Yeah, let me see can I see yeah. See, there we go. That's what we're getting. Okay.
This one, Geology of the Seal Rock area.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting. And the gal that wrote this book showed up here one time and took some pictures of my fossils, and I think there's one of them oh, there it is. A couple of them.
Oh, cool.
She put it in here. That's the very first one I found right there, the little porpoise skull that I donated to Smithsonian.
Oh, wow.
And it's got an article about Doug M. Long, and he's the guy that really, he found the most. He's like the guru for all these guys from the Smithsonian.
The guru's guru.
Yeah, he passed away when he was 38.
Whoa!
But I actually went fishing with him when I was working for my mom in Depot Bay at the Dairy Queen. He'd come in once in a while and eat there. So some point or another, I went fishing with him down by bottom of Cape Perpetua, or Cape Fowler, I mean. And I didn't realize who it was until I went back to the Smithsonian and saw his obituary picture.
Whoa.
Because the pictures, all the pictures of him when he was younger didn't look like the guy that I went fishing with, because it was like in the last couple of years of his life when I went fishing with him, apparently. But the Smithsonian used to pay him to go fossil hunting.
Wow.
And he hunted all the way from, I think, northern Washington all the way down to Baja or somewhere down there. He would collect fossils and stuff. And he ended up donating about 40,000 pounds of fossils altogether to the Smithsonian. I mean, he has some blocks probably as big as my freezer.
Wow.
And that have bones in them. So
some of those familiar fossils that you saw at the Smithsonian when you were saying that, that looks like Astoria Formation, that could have been his.
They were his.
Most of them. His.
Not all of them, but I mean, a really good bunch of them were.
That is so cool.
And I box of Musashi's there.
That's what you need, is a box of Musashi's.
Yeah, this is one that's not. This is the one I took back to Kirk Johnson. That's one where I found out that about the book. That was a pretty rare one there. I think they've got one of those at University of Oregon.
That is outstanding. I've seen that in the book, and I have always wondered what it...
That was washed up on the sand.
Oh, no way. You'd almost think it was contemporary, you know?
But it's not.
But it's not. People always ask me, how do you know if it's a fossil shell?
It's got rocks in it.
Yeah.
Things got knocked off and pointing backwards.
Sorry about that, little male that's pointing backwards. That is a really good little specimen. You guys, was that not the most incredible stuff? And I had to cliffhanger you there because there is more, and we will see more of Kent's collections. You did see some of his mineral stuff out there in the garden, and there's more of that to see. He's definitely a guy of many rocks, and so
I want to go check it out.
Yeah, and you should, Kyle. There again, more to look forward to from Kent Gibson. And Kent, thank you so much. And hi, Mom. I think that you're watching too. And so Kent's mom. So as if that wasn't enough virtual fabulousness and mind-blowingness, we have another virtual guest this evening. It's Theo's show and tell. So let's have a look at that.
Skeletal quartz cluster we dug on Tuesday. Those are mostly double terminated crystals. All are wonky shaped skeletal quartz crystals. They are quite a bit bigger than what is typical for the area and are even more unusual because they are clear quartz. In the area, it is almost exclusively smoky quartz. And this is a cluster of quite literally thousands of smoky phantom quartz crystals. This one is probably my favorite from the day. One cool thing about this piece in particular is usually these clusters grow off the matrix, but there is no matrix on this specimen. It is literally just a mesh purely composed of perfect tiny smoky quartz crystals. The largest crystals are about a ½ inch to an inch in length, and the smallest ones are comparable to grains of sand in size. But even the teeny tiny ones are perfect little terminated glossy smoky quartz crystals. So yeah, those shows and tells are pretty awesome. Like I would love to be able to go and dig with him someday when I can afford to drive that far, or even take a plane. I think I'll take a
plane
because that way I could just like ship stuff back and then not have to worry about, because Amy says a lot because we pack differently when we go places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person that will basically go with the clothes on my back. And maybe like, I mean, not maybe, but for sure, just like a simple side bag with the simple toiletries and a change of underwear, and I'm set. Like, I don't need a bunch of baggage. And if I'm going to Montana for just a little bit, it's not a big deal. So Theo, someday.
Well, both of those are amazing but yeah, for one thing, I can't imagine pulling that out of the earth. And the one that doesn't have any matrix, that's just so incredible to imagine what the growth atmosphere must have been like for that, you
Right.
know? Like what kind of incredible nursery board that it's just so cool. So thanks, Theo. You must have been also squealing. It was a good week for everyone rock hounding, I think.
I think though, when he squeals out in nature, people aren't come up and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Whereas if you're on the beach and squeal, people are like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah. We'll find out why we know about that here in a little bit. But Kyle, do you want to show us your shows and tells? And thank you, Theo.
Okay, let's see if we can do this so I get any sand on my keyboard. Okay. All right, so for my last video, I can pin my own screen here.
Ooh.
There we go. All right, cool. So for my show and tell, this was probably the coolest find that I had, where Karen and I went rock hounding on the beach, and it's this piece of bone. And I'll probably have to put a different. I'll put a different photo in here so you can get some better quality footage. But
so cool.
yeah,
That is so cool.
It is so cool. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do a face polish on this piece, and I'm not gonna bother try to extract the rest of it out. Just because I don't think I can.
At this moment in time, but perhaps a
Right.
future thing. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some more bone here popping through on the other side. And this was just so cool. And I wasn't really expecting to find anything like this nice. And it was funny because I'm the kind of person that I don't really so much like to rock hound with like a bunch of people nearby. And when I first got down the beach, there was like a bunch of people like, people are rock hounding when they're like bent over with their hands behind their back and they're like bent down like that. And like, oh, they're all looking for rocks. So I'm like, I'm gonna go up that way a little bit, and I'm glad I did because I wouldn't have found that if I hadn't. So yeah, that was my show and tell, quick and easy.
Awesome, Kyle. Yeah, that was exciting. And I didn't hear your squeal, but I don't know that I was there yet
You
when
weren't.
that happened.
I did go, oh sweet. And of course, I should at some point get a GoPro, and it's hard because when I'm out rock hounding, I'm not recording the entire process of me looking down. I only hit the like record button if I think I found something, for a lot of reasons. Because if for those that make videos, you know the struggle is real, having to scrub through all the footage to find like the exciting times, and it's easier just to record as it's happening. Like, oh, I think I found something. I should probably record this really quick, and that saves so much time of editing. And yeah, it's just easy.
Oh yeah.
But it would be nice to be able to have the like live reaction. I wouldn't even say it that way. It would be nice to have like additional footage just in case. Like if you happen to miss something, or many times I picked up something that wasn't recording. Like
yeah.
it would be nice to have like that footage, but at the same time, it's just more time editing. And when you're doing more than just making videos, there's not a lot of time in editing.
No, it always takes longer than you think too. And so, yeah, you're doing good. It was a good show.
Yeah, I wish I could afford to be like, hey, just give someone else my footage. Like, could you just make this into a nice video? I'll do the recording. You just do all the editing. But that takes money that I don't have
yet. Perhaps one of these days we're gonna see edited by in the credits for Kyle's videos.
Oh, I would love to be able to pay someone to do the editing, and teach someone just to handle like the emails and the packing process for after the live sales. Like,
You
also
need a
help.
media manager. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Or at this point, like a Kyle manager to keep me on track. Like, hey, you got an
And for the
email.
Kyle.
You got an email that actually requires your attention. Okay.
No. Awesome. Well,
So
thank you.
you're welcome. What do you got for show and tell?
Well, you were talking about not getting the stuff on the footage. Mm. Like I failed to get the footage from, I think, well, 2 out of the 3, like, at least bone finds that I got from the beach that day. And so I was feeling pretty lame about that. But I brought this for one. And this guy was the first big bone cluster that I found. And it's pretty chock full of bones. So unfortunately, they're all the way along. You can see that one in the middle. I don't want to drop it. But so there's like a spot in the middle that looks like maybe I can, there it is. See it right there?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's like probably some rib, and we've got a couple riblets coming along there, and then see the stuff goes to the other side. And so that's a lot of material removal that it's more scribe stuff than it would be just vinegar stuff. It would take probably years in the vinegar. So that one I'm really excited about. Another thing about the rocks that we were hunting there where we were was that it's a different age than the ones that I usually hunt. And so I'm usually doing the Miocene era stuff, and we were into Oligocene. And so these guys are different, and that kind of has me tickled as well. So at any rate, got that. And then I'm gonna try not to break myself here. So then this was the biggie. This was the one that made Karen draw attention to poor Kyle in a way in which he probably made him feel a little uncomfortable. And sorry about that, because
I'm not complaining.
I really did. There were audibles that a lady did come down the beach, and
What are you guys looking for?
I was like, oh man, sorry about that.
It's okay. She's really nice, and her husband was like just getting into rock hounding, and so it was nice for Karen to explain what we're looking for and like tell the difference between this and that. So it was really cool.
And she had heard of Kyle's channel, so it was like a cool recognition meeting. He got recognized, which is
Kind of.
neat.
I think it was the name, not the face.
Yeah, but I thought that was really cool. And so this one actually we've got some stacked verts here and some ribs that you can see, and then it looks like we have scapula, and it's kind of been somewhat like verified as best it could be in a video fashion. I did of course have Kent take a look as soon, and he can't tell a lot with what you guys are seeing right now. That's about as good as what he got a look at, and so it's not the best. And I had some other eyes take a look at it too, and they were also very, very excited and gave me some really nice tips, another member of NARG. And so thanks guys. And yeah, this has to be my best and my favoriteest rock group, or rather fossil group so far that I found. And I do have one other group that I shared when Ma'am Lambo was here that I found with my dad and my brother. And that's also a favorite. It's just that I don't see as much inside that rock. I don't know what's inside that rock. We do know what's inside this one. We just get to see more of it when I get a chance to get into that rock. And so I'm hoping to raise the money for an air scribe, and then you guys will all see more of this guy and the other guy and a bunch of the little guys that I have running around. Like they literally are running around like hamsters back there.
I paid some fire obsidian for it.
Aw, you got a bone. Karen shared.
Karen did share.
I did.
She's like, I'll give you this if you want. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, you guys, like we were walking along and I found the bone cluster in the big one, that big cucumber squash or whatever sized guy, rugby ball. And I was like, okay, Kyle, next one is yours. And then I found the scapula, stacked. I'm like, not
funny
yours, Kyle.
Because Amy was texting me. She's like, "Oh, I hope you guys are having a good time," like that kind of stuff. And I'm like, "Yeah, Amy." She's like, Karen actually found something really cool on the beach, and it was the first big find. And it wasn't even a couple minutes later that like Karen's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh."
So, in Kyle's video, like, just don't let me walk in front of you. Like, I guess.
Walk ahead of Karen and flip every rock. I'll actually show like. Hold on 1 second here.
There it is. Ooh,
Yeah, this is the one that Karen gave me. Oh, see a replacement. There we go. Okay, so this is the one that Karen gave me. She was really nice enough to do so. It was the other one that was in her video that she posted.
Hello.
You might have
So
to do separate. Oh, this will be fine. This will be fine. Actually,
yeah.
Flashlights. There we go. Oh, it's a little better. Oh, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little bow. Courtesy of Karen.
Very nice. Very nice.
She definitely gets the trophy for the coolest find of the beach.
It's all about it was funny. A few people mistook that for your find, the big scapula, because you're carrying it, and I did say in the video, like, nice fun, Kyle. So a few of the people in my comments were going like, hey, and Kyle's was like amazing. Like,
there might be some confusion because they watch your video and then watch my video, like, okay, then who really found it?
Right. It was a plan. But yeah, and so I said to somebody, I was like, it really doesn't matter, like, if it was my find or his find, it was found. It was like a super cool thing that we got to find. And so we do, like, I don't know.
Well, and it's
like,
it went to someone that is getting the proper tools to be able to prep it. I don't have the tools to prep it here. It would just end up sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Whereas if it goes to Karen and she rightfully found it, she's going to get the awesome tools to be able to prep it to fully expose as much as you can to really make that thing like really pop. So who knows? Maybe you'll
see, what's inside.
Maybe they'll get to show it, have it displayed at the aquarium when they do the fossil days again.
That would be neat. Yeah, like that actually leads to a thought and a point that, I always feel like if somebody needed, especially if, it was an organization that needed to do some research, like if that was an important fossil for one reason or another, have it, like, and even if I didn't get a chance to do the prep, if they were like, oh my gosh, we saw your video, or I bring it in for the ID on what it is, like if it's a pinniped, or somebody had a feeling like it might be a small cetacean even, and oh my gosh, if it's a little whale, I might cry all over again. Like, that would be so cool. And even with all that excitement, just like how Kent, like, all right, they made him a mold, and he doesn't have some of the original skulls anymore because they're in the Smithsonian and all these other people get to see it or research it. And so that's cool, and so it wasn't mine to begin with, and it's never really mine, and then it'll go back into the world after I'm gone, so it's okay.
Yeah, it'll always be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're all this stuff, like all these rocks and all these fossils and things like that. They're here for us to enjoy, for me, not necessarily to have. Like, it's okay. I'm transient. The rock will be here when I'm
Well,
done with it.
if anything, it'll also be immortalized on YouTube as
Yeah. Right. Even the rock is transient in comparison to YouTube video. Where on the web, it'll be here for time immemorial. So yeah.
Mhm.
All right. And so gosh, that's our shows and tells.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And do you have some wisdom for us?
Oh gosh, if these wrinkles can tell tales. No, sorry. I made that because like I've been seeing more like the lifelines recently in the last few months. They get more defined, and I'm like,
Is it
oh
because you're
man,
laughing a lot, maybe?
or something. I don't know, but I would say, I haven't had words of wisdom in a long time. This feels like I would say, don't argue stuff. If something happens and it's beyond your control to really fix the solution, it doesn't matter if you're right or if you're wrong. Just deal with it with what you can, and then just move on because it's not worth your energy. We're not on the planet for a whole long time. Don't waste that time spending out, spitting negative energy to items that it's not worth it. So just, yeah, it's not worth it. Be positive. Remain neutral, positive, like for as long as you can.
I like it. Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. I think that kind of blends with my thoughts, which I actually just unpacked and unminded before your words of wisdom. The whole hold on loosely thing, like and I was just referring to the rocks with that I think that possessions can really bog you down if you're not careful. And so hold on loosely. It's a fabulous thing to be able to enjoy something, but possession is sometimes is a burden. So like it's okay if it's not necessarily quote unquote yours or whatever.
You can always
like,
make someone else happy.
if you love something, set it free. Oh my gosh.
But give it to someone that you know so you can always visit the time again.
Right, so they'll share it back with you, right? I like it. So that's about as wise as I ever dare be there.
Well, thank you for your words of wisdom.
Awesome. And all of you wise folks out there, we definitely would love to not only hear your wises, but I'm going to remind you, like, we want to see your rock pets and your weird rocks and the shows and tells, and we'll have a show for that coming up really soon. And we have a very special show coming up really soon too, don't we?
Yep. Episode 100.
Oh my goodness. How did
Oh
that
my
happen?
gosh.
Happened so fast. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, stick around for that. That's going to be amazing. Thanks to Kent Gibson again for all of the mind-blowing rocks and fossils to look at. And you were so generous with your time, because what hit the actual recording was not all. There was a whole like half a day basically spent there being saturated with fossily goodness, which I went home glowing. So go check out the first half if you have a chance. But again, thanks so much, Kent Gibson, for your time and sharing your rocks, and hopefully you'll be on the podcast again.
Yes.
With the more.
Thank you, and hopefully I can make it to your house at some point.
Yep. You need an invitation for that, everybody out there. So you'll have to wait for the invitation. Kyle's got it. Do you have anything more for everybody out there, Kyle?
No, just be kind to one another. That's all I got.
That's the best to have. So with that, we'd like to wish you a wonderful and rock houndy weekend. Thanks so much for joining us all the way to the end of the podcast. Rock on, and we will catch you next time.
Bye. And also, meow. Oh, okay, where's the stop button? Where's the stop button?
Stop.
Oh, wait.
Make it stop.
Here it is. Bye, everybody.